Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. Hello and welcome to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. My view of humanity is a whole new tea. And today's episode, I know that the weather is getting nicer and everything. And for some of you guys, especially in the South, you never have to plan a date really around the weather other than maybe hurricane season, or it might rain, or it might snow in half an inch or an inch or something. But other than that, you're all good and gravy and stuff like that. But with a lot of us, especially in the north, we have to plan things accordingly. We have to always think about either when it comes to our outfits, what's the temperature outside? Am I going to need a jacket too? And so when you're planning the date, if you're going to need the jacket, you need to go to a place where your jacket can, be in a safe and like, well, basically, yeah, there's more steps in the whole dating process, especially in that the coordination and the outfit of going out, and also what you are going to do. And also, when you have a disability, you not only have to think about like what to wear and if you're gonna need umbrella, jacket, whatever, but then also your medications or equipment, or can your scooter, like if the place is handicap like accessible for you depending on your disability, or are you going to be able to do the date? I remember one of my friends who her date planned the entire day, and so she was so excited, but he said it was going to be a surprise, and she's legally blind. Guess where he wanted her to go? If you thought of paint with wine, you're right. And so it's like she laughed. Like, I mean, when they got there, and it's like it wasn't a blind date, because like she told him, and I think they met in public. So it's like I forgot. Like, part of me just kind of wondering, like, if he met you face to face, and so he knew that you were like legally blind, but then he's gonna set up your first date in a situation where it's like, were you comfortable? And it's like, I know she said she was really nervous, especially when other people were passing by her canvas looking. She kept saying, does it look good enough? Is it this? Is it that? And she was really self-conscious. And so it's like she said the date wasn't all that great because she was so nervous and stressed out. And she said it got better when they ended up going to dinner and everything. And he tried, calm her down, cheer her up, or whatever. But is like, and I think they did date for a little while and everything like that. But it, yeah, when you do have a disability, there are going to be some dates that aren't a good match for you. And even for some that are on the spectrum, that, or for those who like bright lights and or changing lights, like there are going to be some activities and movies and things that are not going to be a good fit for you. And then, but I kind of at least laid out a list of type of things that you might be able to do, and at least different ideas to the point where there's going to be something for everyone. And my first idea is a Costco date, and you can do it two ways. The plan one, go like go shopping and like at least have your to-do list of things you need to get there, and at least, yeah, one of you will have to have a membership, of course. And it's like when you shop there and everything, go by the sampling stations and you can both try them and give your point of view on how the foods are. And I don't know, it's just like I know it's kind of an odd date and everything, but they have they have almost anything and everything there. Like I know they have these huge stuffed dog that look like the sides of a bed that are so adorable, and to the point where they have so many different types of foods and oh like amazing stuff in their freezer section. And like even if you both like wine, you can turn it into even a wine tasting. So I guess I have three options because you can either do like the go around and try all the samples and do your regular grocery shopping, or even to the point where you both create a list of different types of wine you like, and then you can look up the types of cheese and crackers and different like even meats and things like that that would pair nicely with each wine, and then go back to one of your places and sample them and try them either during a movie or music or whatever. And or you can find a recipe and try to find all the ingredients there. And if they don't have everything, then you might have to go buy a Kroger and stuff. But yes, like they have almost anything and everything that like food wise that you would most likely need there. And so you can, it's like, I mean, depending on the type, because I know some things you can only get like at the Asian markets and stuff like that. So it's like, I would like, so maybe look up or whatever beforehand. But it's like when you go shopping, you can kind of see like how patient are they, especially in line, and or how do they shop or how do they make their decisions. And like you can observe each other in that type of way. And while you're cooking whichever dish you decide to cook, you can see how well they follow directions and like their patience with it. And or how do they give you directions if you need to do one thing and they need to do another. Like okay, how well do you guys pair together making the dish? Because when it comes to relationships, especially long-term relationships in marriage, you guys are going to have to see how you work well together. And so the Costco date, I kind of think that's like a perfect opportunity for you guys to at least see how well you work together. And so the next one's ABC date. So you write the ABCs and you cut them out on little strips and you put them like in an envelope. And so when you get into the vehicle, it's like either one of you can draw out each letter or both of you, but it's like depending on the letter, you guys have to do something that either the business starts with that or the name of the activity starts with that letter. And so this forces both of you to either try something new or out of the box and something different, and hopefully something that's more small business. I always try to like introduce either small businesses or opportunities. And like even if you guys don't just decide not to do the Costco thing, like I love the small business, like the small markets and stuff like that too. But I just said Costco because it has a lot more stuff in there at the same, like because you can even get tires or whatever. So but with the ABC date, like if you get a B, I mean you can go bowling, but let's see, probably not the bar. It's like sometimes I feel like when the stories that I've heard of old bosses and exes, like when they went to the bar with somebody, they were great to sleep with, but yeah, and they were really hot, so that's the only reason they wanted to date them. But then over time, they found their true selves. So, but yeah, it's like let's see what else. Like I don't know. I'm trying to think offhand, but it's like if you get L, maybe the library, or with the B, bookstore. You can go to the bookstore as well. And yeah, I mean, it's like depending on the type of like the depending on the type of letter, the letter that you get, you can have a different unique type of adventure. And it's like even if you just like with one of them, a specific one, maybe it could be your golden one where, okay, this one has to be the restaurant, or this one has to be the activity and stuff. So okay, I'll just move on to the next one because you guys kind of know ABC, whatever. And it's like, well, I have like the rainbow date, but you can also do it, the letter date based off of your last names. It could be first names, but last names kind of more fun, or even middle names. So if you take the first initial of your last names, and then you have to pick your date based off the initials. With this one, you can have a little bit more creativity and fun with, because you can go by, are the buildings going to be this color, or the food choice going to be, like the theme of it going to be that color. But yeah, so by the end of the day, you can create your own dating rainbow. So it's kind of more memorable. So even if you go to a museum or a type of exhibit or something, and you can go to the gift store, whatever you choose can be from like the rainbow selection or whatever. It's like, especially if you're still missing a color, but you want something memorable for each other. And or you can even assign each other your favorite color from the rainbow. You could pick that way too. But it's another opportunity and a chance to where you can get some variety and learn more about each other, because you can even know what colors like the other person likes or not like or despises and things like that. And like, so you can even go to the mall and even clothes shop and find and put on things of the different colors. Or if you go to the zoo, try to make sure you find an animal of at least majority of the colors. Some of the colors might be a little harder than others, but yeah, it can be like an adventure or something, kind of like Miss Frizzle and the Magic School Bus. So but just a quick idea and everything. And again, I'm trying to lay out a plan so that, especially those with disabilities, they can have a little bit more creativity. And also, you do not know how much of my life where I had a disability, but doctors were blaming me or telling me it was in my head, and so they were forcing me to quote unquote be normal and everything, or I had to live up to certain expectations. But now that I am diagnosed, so many in society tell me, stay home, don't do anything, don't have a life, don't fulfill dreams, or don't go after opportunities and things like that. They just want me to hide. And I feel like people with disabilities, no, we should not have to hide. We should live our life. If you're pro life, you should be able to, like, don't stare at us. And that's another thing. We should be able to go out and have freedom and not be stared at, gawked at in a bad way, or us, like, people assume that we're not capable, able, or willing to do things. And so I want to create more videos and encourage more people with disabilities to challenge themselves and get out there. And like, even with my friend, when she went on that wine and paint date, it's like, she said it was a great opportunity, and she did kind, I mean, she was stressed out, but she did enjoy herself. But now she kind of realizes, even if the painting looks like just nothing like it's supposed to, just enjoy your time. It's supposed to be relaxing. And if your date has a problem or laughs at you because of it, that means he's not a good match, or he or she is not a good match for you. And so, and like, yeah, they had a great time and they did date for a while again. So, but just kind of my thoughts on that. But yeah, a rainbow date, you can have so much creativity and everything with that. And like, even years later, it's like, when you think of red or blue or purple or green, whatever your favorite color is, even, you might think of that date or think of that, like that specific component of that date for different reasons. And so, volunteer. may it's like I know, especially while dating and stuff, when I tell men that I volunteer and I love volunteering, do you know how many, usually they're conservative men, who tell me it's a waste of time and who wants to do anything for free, and the people that I'm trying to help out are probably lazy and good for nothing, and like, yeah, these are like but then these men on Sunday mornings go to church. Yeah, yeah. But to me, if a guy is willing to volunteer, it's like, well, and the thing is, if you don't want to volunteer, it's like find someone who doesn't want to volunteer. So it's like, yeah, it's like this is just an idea for those who do want to volunteer and give back to the community and things. But anyways, like I was saying, you can choose, there's so many different types of places you can get out there and give back, because even the hospitals, because I was going to start looking up the hospitals in my area and ways that I can volunteer. I know there's a list of different programs for each one, but some of them they even have where you literally volunteer by holding the babies. And I've done it once. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. They're so like, I mean, I know it depends on which baby and everything, but just, oh my gosh, it's just like, this is amazing. And it's like, I will say, like, okay, if your date is really, really hot, don't be thinking, oh, I can make beautiful babies with them and try to rush things. No, no, no. So like just see how they are with the volunteer activity, see how again their patience, or even they're willing to follow directions, and like if things change, are they able to follow change of plans. And so it's like, because it could be a homeless shelter, or like feeding the hungry, and I mean the list goes on and on. But if you I feel like if you're able to work together, especially with a volunteer, it can give you great memories and a great impact. And you can kind of see a little bit about how they treat others, and treat others that they don't know, and treat those who are on hard times in some kind of way. And if you can see how their heart is, then you can possibly see how their heart can be for you as well. So it's like that at the end of the day. Yeah, I kind of recommend try a volunteer event. And for us with disabilities, there are a lot of nonprofits that cater to those with disabilities. So if you have a disability and you can go to a nonprofit for people with disabilities, sometimes those that you're helping, that kind of inspires them, because they're like, wow, you have a disability too. And sometimes they want to know your story, or ask questions, or ask you how are you able to do A, B, and C. So that can be also an amazing thing as well. And so my next idea is kind of like with volunteering, but it's different, because now you can see how they are with animals. Because either going to a cat cafe, kitty cafe, or a dog shelter, you can kind of see how are they, especially like you never know what animals are going to do and or behave, or if when they're going to go potty, or just anything and everything. And so you can like, if you love animals or like animals, and I did one for dogs, one for cats, because I know I'm allergic to cats. So I would either need to make sure I take the proper medicine before, but I need to know that ahead of time if they're trying to plan to go to a cat cafe or whatever. But then some people are scared of dogs as well, or they don't like dogs, or allergic to dogs. So I try to do both, like, yeah, a little bit of both, because then you have those that are like, they love cats. So it's like, and then I'm a dog person. I love dogs. I mean, I love animals, but yeah, the cute, adorable puppies, that's my thing. But it's like with this kind of date, you can kind of see how the person is, especially animals are, it's like they're so spontaneous and different and unique with their personalities and things. And depending on the jobs that they give you with like, or at the kitty cafe, like while you're eating your food or drinking or whatever is like the way that they correspond or deal with the animals and stuff. So I don't know. It's like eat with each date. I try to with each idea. I try to think of how can you find out their authentic side, because with a lot of dates they always try to show you their best and perfect side. Like I don't have time for that. I don't. I I fell for that with Mr. No Heart, Mr. Lockakey. You guys already know how that nightmare started and everything. And part of me, like one day, I don't know when, but one day I hope either his wife or daughter sees and are able to see and hear these videos, because it's they I mean, I'm going to talk about it in other videos as well, but if you've been watching and listening, you already know how my ex blackmailed me. Yeah, wasn't pretty. But then with Mr. No Heart, how he kept trying to show me the best version of himself. But then as soon as we started dating, yeah, it's like he showed me who he really was, and it was absolutely awful and terrible. And I kind of think if I did maybe the volunteering event or something similar, I would have seen some of the red flags that he was hiding. And maybe not the cooking one, because I think he would have been able to hide his identity, but especially the volunteering or the dog shelter ones, I think those would have been the perfect ones to do with him, because he never wants to do for other people. He it's like he hardly wants to do for his daughters, but that's a different story for a different day. But I'll get to the last idea, the courthouse. And I know some people are like, what in the world? And I'm not saying stay there all day, but sometimes the the people watching and the trials, and I don't like I'm a nerd, so you have to remember, like, yes, I am a nerd. And like with I feel like with the court scene and everything like that, it's accessible for everyone basically. So you can sit there and listen and see what's going on. And sometimes you can learn some things, but sometimes it might just be some really like some dateline type of stuff. And so then maybe after you can go to eat and talk about the cases and like I don't know, it's like I know it's a different one and I haven't tried this one yet, but I'm hoping one day. It's like I really would love to try this as a date. And it's like but and you can like even go for a walk and talk about it, plan a like courthouse discussion picnic or something. Like I would be so corny that I would literally try to find a gavel cookie cutter, and I would plan out a whole picnic like courthouse themed. And now I'm wondering like, oh, what would I wear? Oh my gosh, that would be so fun. See, so yeah, it's like with the date and everything, it's like make it fun, make it adventurous, make it interesting, make it memorable. And yes, I am a nerd. So, and I love anime. Like, yeah, I'm a kid at heart, but and I love anime and being unique and stuff like that. So I think outside the box all of the time. But at the end of the day, it's like be yourself and be your authentic self. Don't try to be the perfect image, because that gets exhausting. And a lot, like, the reason why a lot of men don't like me, hate me, can't stand me, troll me, is because I'm not scared to be myself. I am not going to pretend to be somebody that I'm not. And I have worked really hard at being the best person I want to be. And I always try to conquer and strive for new things. And a lot of men hate that. But I love the fact that I have been able to dismiss so many men. And some people are like, no, you're getting older. You need to. No, I don't. I want to be happy. And especially I keep witnessing people who settled or people who forced themselves to marry somebody, and at the end of the day, now they're struggling, now they're suffering, now they're dealing with life, and it's 10 times worse because of how they settled or how they sacrificed their happiness for the Christian like, oh, I'm gonna get married and have kids. Like, nah, and the thing is, I want kids, but I want to love the person. I want to appreciate the person. And I want the person to love and appreciate my authentic and my true self. And so I feel like with some of these dating ideas, it forces you to be yourself. And they have to see who you really are. Because if you're going to volunteer, but then put a mask on, or not a hospital, like, it's like if you're going to put one of those, a fake personality mask on, and then that's while you're volunteering, that's exhausting. So I feel like with a lot of these dating ideas, it forces you to have to show who you really are. Show, like, if you're going to, when you have a little attitude, or when you might be a little like short with your like tone and things like that. And it's, yes, does it look good? No, but at the same time, it shows that you have full personality. It shows that you are not going to be sunshines and rainbows all the time. And no one is in real life. And that's one reason why, while dating, sometimes it got annoying when men would act like, and remember, I've only dated men, so I can only talk from this perspective, but it would get annoying when men would act like they were just so sweet and Prince Charming and things like that. But then as soon as I kind of started falling or being interested in them, all of a sudden it's like, if you don't sleep with me, you're nothing but a garden hoe. If you don't sleep with me or do this or suck that or whatever, I'm gonna blah 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 blah. And it's just like, what? And the funny thing is, like, if I don't sleep with you, it doesn't work like that. And well, yeah, it's like, let's just say soon I'm going to be talking about other stories, because I know I've mentioned it before, but some men tell me that I have to follow their directions on like how to love each other, even that, like, and to me that's disgusting and stupid and naive, because it's just like, not everybody's different, everybody's interest and passion and things are different. And so that's one reason why when I talk to men, i I try to make sure I know what their expectations are, what do they like. And I'm creating a project that everybody can be able to purchase pretty soon that kind of pertains to this. But I feel like, especially with the whole manosphere red pill, oh my gosh, the thing, like, the things that some of these men have said, it's traumatizing. But anyway, thank you so much for listening to the Handicapable Black Woman Throne Room. I am a woman, I am of color, and I am handicapable. But most importantly, I am human, and you're human too.